You might think that fruits and vegetables are always healthy, for humans and for your dog, right? But the truth is a paradox that shocks many pet owners. The very things you believe are good for health can in fact stop your dog's heart in just minutes. Imagine you're slicing an apple, cutting a piece of avocado, or peeling an orange, and your beloved dog watches you with its familiar, hopeful eyes. A moment so ordinary, so sweet, yet with 13 types of produce, it could be the start of a disaster from just one accidental bite. Why are foods totally harmless to us capable of damaging dog kidneys, stopping their heart, or scrambling their brain? Why can just a few tiny seeds, a thin peel, or even just one grape be enough to land you and your dog in the emergency clinic? In this video, you'll explore 13 types of fruits and vegetables your dog absolutely must not eat, along with warnings most pet owners never hear, even those who've had dogs their whole lives. And believe me, the last 3 types will make you question everything in your kitchen. This isn't a just for information list, it's information that could save your dog's life. Section 1. Cherries. Cherries look harmless, sweet, and very healthy, but for dogs, this is one of the most dangerous fruits a pet owner can accidentally give them. Many don't know that cherry pits contain cyanide, a toxin which prevents cells from using oxygen. That means even if the dog is still breathing, every organ may begin suffocating from within. Just one broken pit is enough to cause breathing difficulty, drooling, weakness, and possibly cardiac arrest if not treated in time. But that's not the only danger. Cherry pits are small, slippery, and very easy to swallow whole, and once in the intestines, they can get lodged at any point. Many emergency surgeries for intestinal blockages happen simply because a dog swallowed a pit unnoticed. And if your home has a cherry tree, be even more careful. The fallen wilted leaves contain higher levels of cyanide than the pit itself. Some dogs have died within tens of minutes just from eating a few fallen leaves they thought harmless. A moment you consider completely ordinary, a cherry dropping on the floor, your dog rushing to lick it, could become something you regret for life. Don't let a small piece of fruit steal the most precious thing waiting for you behind the door every time you return home. Section 2. Onions. Onions are dangerous in the most silent way because they appear in almost every one of our meals. Many people think that a dog must eat a whole onion to cause a problem, but even a small amount repeatedly is enough to cause serious damage. The compounds in onions stick to a dog's red blood cells, marking them as damaged, forcing the immune system to destroy them gradually. When the number of destroyed cells exceeds the body's ability to regenerate, the dog begins showing pale gums, weakness, rapid breathing, and dark urine. Signs of hemolytic anemia. The scariest part is that the toxin in onions is cumulative. A small amount of fried onion in your dish, a few onion bits dropped while cooking, or some onion powder in soup. They all add up without you noticing. In the blood, more and more cells with Heinz bodies appear, causing severe oxygen deficiency in the dog. That's why onions, even a small amount, always belong on the never let your dog eat list. Section 3. Avocado. Avocado is a fruit many think of as a superfood, but for dogs it conceals a risk very few pet owners know. The soft flesh that people eat may not cause immediate harm, but the skin, leaves, and especially the pit of avocado contain a toxin called persin. When a dog eats it, persin can cause fluid buildup around the heart and lungs, make them struggle to breathe, grow weak, and fall into circulatory collapse. More dangerously, the avocado pit is large and slippery, very easily becoming a foreign object lodged in the intestine. Many dogs have needed emergency surgery just because they mistook the pit for a toy. Some breeds are even more sensitive, and no one can predict which dog will react severely. That's why, no matter how good avocado is for humans, it's a fruit dogs absolutely must not touch. Section 4. Tomatoes. Ripe red tomato flesh is generally safe, but the green parts, like leaves, stems, and unripe fruit, contain solanine and tomatine, 2 compounds capable of throwing a dog's nervous system into chaos in just a few hours. Dogs that eat green tomato parts often are found in a state of confusion, staggering, eyes dilated, reacting to things that aren't there. Some vomit violently or tremble all over because the toxin hits both brain and digestive system. The worrying part is many families grow tomatoes in their garden and dogs may eat them out in the yard. Just one small piece of unripe tomato can cause a dangerous situation the owner didn't foresee. Section 5. Apple seeds and stone fruit pits. The flesh of apples, peaches, or plums is usually safe, but their pits contain amygdalin, a compound that converts into cyanide when chewed. Cyanide prevents cells from using oxygen, causing dogs to suffer acute hypoxia even while still breathing. This happens very quickly. Bright red gums, heavy breathing, full body weakness, then seizures. Dogs don't chew carefully like humans. If they crush the pit or eat many cores at once, the toxin load can be life-threatening. The U.S. Animal Poison Control reports hundreds of cases each year just from these seemingly harmless fruit pits. Section 6. Grapes and raisins. Grapes and raisins are among the fastest actors of kidney failure in dogs, and the scary part is that science still hasn't pinpointed exactly which compound causes the toxicity. Some dogs get sick after just 2-3 grapes within an hour. Kidneys begin failing within the next 24 hours. Others eat a whole bowl and remain fine, making this food a gamble no pet owner should take. Raisins are even more dangerous because they're concentrated, and a small handful may be enough to trigger serious kidney damage. If a dog vomits right after eating grapes, that's your only early warning, and your window to save them is very short. Section 7. Wild mushrooms. Wild mushrooms are among the hardest to predict because you can't tell by eye whether a fungus is safe or not. Dogs habitually sniff and taste things they find in the yard. One small piece of a mushroom with amatoxin can shut down their liver within 24 to 72 hours. The scary part is symptoms don't show immediately. A dog may seem fine in the morning, but by midnight begin vomiting violently, showing diarrhea and yellowing skin because the liver has been damaged. Most cases of mushroom poisoning in dogs come from their own backyard, the place we least suspect. Section 8. Rhubarb. Rhubarb, especially its leaves, contains a high level of oxalates. When a dog eats them, oxalates bind with calcium in the blood, lowering calcium to dangerous levels. This leads to muscle tremors, paralysis, and cardiac rhythm disorders that threaten life. On top of that, the sharp oxalate crystals can lodge in the kidneys, causing severe pain and potentially acute kidney failure in hours. Even the stalks of rhubarb, the part humans eat, contain enough oxalate to strongly irritate a dog's mouth and throat. Many families grow rhubarb in their gardens, but to a dog it can be an invisible toxic hazard. Section 9. Citrus fruits. Oranges, lemons, grapefruits, or tangerines seem harmless snacks, but for dogs, the acid and essential oils in the peel, pulp, and white membrane can cause severe stomach pain, vomiting, and diarrhea right after ingestion. In dogs with sensitivity, acid may even burn the mouth and stomach lining, causing them to stop eating and become weak for hours. Worse still, grapefruit interacts with many veterinary medications. What for humans is a normal dose may become toxic when grapefruit compounds block liver metabolism in dogs. That's why vets warn that citrus, especially grapefruit, has no place in a dog's diet under any form. Section 10. Persimmons. Persimmons look soft, sweet, and safe, but hold a particularly serious risk for dogs. The small seeds inside the fruit, when ingested, can clump together in the intestine, forming a hard mass called a bezoar, causing complete blockage. Dogs with intestinal blockages vomit incessantly, suffer severe pain, stop eating, and waste away rapidly. Most require emergency surgery to survive. Even the flesh of the fruit contains high tannin levels, which can cause intestinal inflammation and severe diarrhea in sensitive dogs. Persimmons are often offered because owners think it's just fruit, but precisely that makes them one of the most dangerous blockage causes. Section 11. Coconut and coconut-derived products. Coconut is marketed as a superfood for humans, but for dogs it hides many risks that not everybody knows. The flesh in coconut oil are high in medium-chain fats, which can overload a dog's digestive system, leading to prolonged diarrhea and severe abdominal pain. If repeated, the pancreas may become inflamed, a very painful and potentially life-threatening disease. Coconut water also contains high potassium levels, which can disrupt heart rhythm in dogs with underlying conditions or sensitive systems. Even the coconut husk and shell, coarse, hard, and fibrous, can tear the intestine if chewed. Coconut may be beneficial for humans, but it is not a snack you should share with your dog. Section 12. Figs. Figs, whether fresh or dried, pose more problems than most pet owners imagine. The white sap from the stem and skin can burn the dog's mouth and throat as soon as they bite a small piece. Inside the fruit is the enzyme physin, an allergenic compound that can trigger strong allergic reactions in dogs, causing rash, intense itching, or even face swelling and difficulty breathing. With its high natural sugar content, figs also cause blood sugar spikes, placing extra load on the pancreas, especially in middle-aged or overweight dogs. Even dried figs are unsafe because their sticky texture gets caught in teeth and gums, causing tooth decay and gum inflammation in short time. Section 13. Starfruit. Starfruit may look harmless with its clear yellow color and mild sourness, but it is actually one of the most toxic fruits for dogs. It contains water-soluble oxalate, a compound that can immediately bind with calcium in the blood, then form sharp crystals that travel straight into the kidneys. These crystals act like tiny shards of glass, slicing kidney tissue and halting the body's toxin filtration in just a few hours. On top of that, starfruit contains caramboxin, a compound that directly assaults the nervous system, causing dogs to tremble, lose coordination, have seizures, and even become completely paralyzed if they have underlying kidney issues the owner never knew about. What makes starfruit especially dangerous is the speed. Many dogs eat just a few small slices and start to drink excessively, urinate heavily, vomit, and weaken. Once the kidneys are damaged, treatment is mostly supportive, and many starfruit poisonings cannot be reversed in time. With this fruit, even a very small piece may thrust a medium-sized dog into full health crisis. That's why veterinarians consistently stress, starfruit must not be included in any dog diet, not even as a tiny share. Now you know that fruits and vegetables you imagine as healthy for humans may actually harm your dog in ways you'd never foresee. Each item on this list has a different harmful mechanism, but the common ground is that they all start from very familiar situations. A piece of fruit dropping on the floor, a food item shared while cooking, or a ripe fruit in the garden that your dog spots. Sometimes just one careless moment is enough to push you and your dog into a situation no one wants. The most important thing you can do today is to remember that your dog doesn't need exotic fruits, doesn't need to try human superfoods, and certainly doesn't need foods that can knock out their body in hours. A simple diet, appropriate for them, and a little care each day can protect them from many dangers you don't see. If you've ever had a situation where you worried about what your dog ate, share your story. Your experience might help someone else avoid the same risk. And if this video helped you understand more about keeping your dog safe, stay tuned for the next one, because in the next video, we'll talk about the foods that really help extend your dog's life, simple treats that make a big difference for their health. We love them in many ways, and sometimes the quietest protection is the deepest kind of love.